Hi, this is Cody Sandall, president of Code for Kids. We're continuing our tutorial on how to use arcade MakeCode to do visual programming in some easy ways, and the ability to see the results of your program over here, not needing to load it onto a device, although you can, but it's nice not having to have that device. So we have, we're telling again the story of the sword and the stone. We have Arthur, we're telling his story. We know how to move him around. We know how to tell parts of the story, and now we have some kids that we want to be making fun of Arthur. So we are going to, there's some fun things you can do with Sprite. So we have effects, and they can say things. There's a few other things we can do. Those are mostly about games rather than just telling stories, but let's have our kids say something. So kid one, and the order doesn't really matter, by the way. I could have left it down here, it would still work. Kid one should say, maybe laugh at him. Ha. Now I want to show you what happens here. So this stays on until we tell it to go away. But one thing we can do is hit this little plus button, and now you can decide how long that stays up. So that's a half a second. So milliseconds, 1,000 is a second. So 500 milliseconds is half a second. Let's make it for a good 2 seconds. And then again, let's duplicate this rather than finding it again. And we'll make it kid 2 says, this is the football player. So we'll say weakling, and then maybe a stick your tongue out emoji for 2 seconds. Let's see what that looks like. Press A to move on, press A to move on. You can see how they're kind of laughing at each other. Now, did you see, let's reload that. Look how the football player text kind of overlaps with the girl. So we might need to move our football player here a little bit lower. Try that. There. Now they're not overlapping. Did it really matter all that much? Not really. But it just shows you that you can watch what's happening and make some changes along the way. Now, I remember in the last tutorial I talked about blocking or non-blocking, that whenever we have this long text, it stays right there in the execution of the program until we hit A. Then it moves on. But with these saying, it actually doesn't. So I want to show you, like, did you see, like we had this one say haha for 2 seconds, and this one say haha for 2 seconds. But notice it didn't wait 2 seconds. Like, it didn't have the first kid say haha for 2 seconds and then create the football player. The program keeps running. So that's non-blocking. The program keeps running even though we give it a set amount of time. So what you can do, this is in loops. If you forget that, just search pause. Let's go ahead and wait for 2 seconds so that our story does not continue until after the kids are done making fun of him. Then what I want to do after 2 seconds is I want to get rid of those 2 kids, and that's in the sprite menu. There it is. We're going to destroy, which just means get rid of, both of the kids. You can add a little effect here, which we'll get into in a second. Let me just show you what that looks like. So 2 seconds, and then she disappears with a little effect, and you can change it to like rings. There we go. Here's another one. Wait 2 seconds. Rings appear. But in reality, I don't really want that. I just want her to disappear, and the football player as well. So they disappear. Let's go ahead and duplicate that. Kid number 2. So we go, wait 2 seconds. They disappear. Again, I want to show you what this looks like if the pause isn't in there. to, again, just demonstrate the whole blocking and non-blocking. So they never show up because we destroy them. Because this doesn't stop the program, it moves on. They actually get created, they say something, and they get destroyed all before anything happens. That's why we need that pause in here. And since we started effects, and we've shown how to use those effects. Remember, right in here. There's also some effects you can do in here in the scene, so you can like choose different effects, and we'll make it for like a second. Let's just take a look at that. So added a little effect over the whole screen. I think we'll stop here for now, and in the next tutorial we're going to add another part of the scene, and we will modify some images, and I think we might get all the way to having the game over, or having the story over. So we'll show you kind of how to wrap this up in the next segment.